everyone, welcome back to my channel and to today's video, which is going to be a makes video talking all about everything that I made in April. These videos come around so quickly. I can't believe that we're at the end of April. I feel like I say that every month, but every month just seems to be flying by at the moment. So we are at the end of April already, and even though we had a 2.5 week Easter holiday in the middle of that, I did manage to get a few things made, so I'm really pleased about that. So I've got 3 dressmaking projects to share with you, a kind of craft project to share with you, and also a crochet make, which is really exciting. So I'm looking forward to sharing all of those with you today. If you are new to my channel, I'm Sally. I talk all about sewing and making, including other crafts sometimes like knitting and home crafts and things like that, but mainly about dressmaking. So if you're into sewing and making it as well, I'd love you to consider subscribing. And don't forget to click the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future videos. I post weekly, mainly on a Sunday morning. So with all that said, let's get into what I've been sewing and making in April. So I had 2 sweatshirt plans for April that I really wanted to get sewn up because we had a really short break away in Devon in April over the Easter holidays, and I thought it was going to be really chilly, but actually it turns out to be really lovely weather. But I really wanted to get these 2 sweatshirts sewn up so that I could take them away on that holiday, because I thought they would be perfect for sort of chillier spring weather by the seaside and everything. And my 2 plans were both actually for the same pattern, and that was the toaster sweater by Sew House 7. And one of them is actually what I have on today, if you hadn't guessed already. So this is the toaster sweater pattern. I'm sure you've probably seen it before. It's quite a popular one in the sewing community. I know lots of people have made up this pattern. I've had it for a little while, and you may remember I had a bit of a kind of disastrous version that didn't go too well, and I really wanted to sew up another one. I'd used the wrong fabric in my previous version, so it just didn't have the right structure. So I really wanted to make up another version in a proper fabric so that I could get the details like the high neck and everything. So I actually wanted to make one of each of these versions, and I'll show you the first version I made first. So the first version I made was version 1, which is this high neck pattern. It's got like a high funnel neck, and then it's got quite a wide waistband here, and then really wide or really deep cuffs as well, and yeah, the lovely cozy high neck. So that's the first version I wanted to make, and I'll just show you it now. So here it is. I'm so pleased with this. It's really super cozy. So I used a lovely fleece back sweatshirting fabric from Minerva. It's really sturdy and it was so lovely to work with. So it's got this kind of beige or cream marl texture to the front of it, and then on the inside it's just really cozy and fleecy. I've worn this so many times since I've made it. It really is a good one just to have in your wardrobe, especially like with us, we're always out and about obviously with the dog and the kids and everything, and it was really nice to have by the seaside where it was a little bit chillier. I really like this high funnel neck and how that's turned out. So in terms of the style of this, I've mentioned before that I don't like anything with too high a neck. So I did wonder how I would actually feel in this sweatshirt, because obviously it does have the high funnel neck, but I actually find it really cozy, and the neck on it isn't tight at all. It's quite a sort of a wide neck, so it's not close or too tight to your neck at all. It just kind of feels quite cozy, and I felt like I didn't need to wear like a scarf or anything with it, because obviously you've got this that's covering your neck and keeping you nice and warm. So yeah, I love this one. I'm definitely gonna try and make a couple more of these in the future, I think. So in terms of sewing, this was a really super quick sew. So it has raglan sleeves here. So they're really nice and easy to sew. But yeah, super quick, easy sew. And what I like about this particular version of the pattern is that with the neck, if you're nervous about fitting neckbands in, you don't have to fit this neck in because it is quite sort of wide and gaping, so it just fits the neck as it is. So it's really easy to just put in, and obviously it doesn't matter if it's a bit baggy because the style of it is a bit baggy anyway. So yeah, really pleased with that one. I'll pop in a couple of photos so that you can see me wearing it. And I'm just so pleased that I've managed to make a version of this pattern that I do really like, because I know loads of people love and rate this pattern, and I didn't want to sort of, I was so disappointed in a way with my first make not being quite right. So I really wanted to have another go and see if I could love this pattern too, and I'm pleased to say that I do. So on to my next version of the toaster sweater, which is actually what I'm wearing today, and this time I made version 2. So just to show you version 2 of the pattern, it's this one here. So it's slightly a more relaxed fit, it's slightly A-line, and it has this sort of, I think that's called like a mock turtle neckline to it. And then it has a split hem. If I just show you the line drawings there, hopefully you can see all the little details of it. So it's a little bit more of a simpler design, a bit more of a relaxed kind of oversized fit. So for this version of the pattern, I used a really lovely stripy French terry fabric from So Me Sunshine, which is really, really lovely. It's such a good quality, this fabric. It was really nice to cut out. It didn't curl or anything. It just stayed nice and flat, and it's really nice and soft on the outside. And then on the inside, if I just stand up and show you the inside. So on the inside you could just see that it's got that sort of French terry knitted texture to it, which is really soft as well. And while I'm standing up, I'll just show you the split hem at the side there, which is really nice. I really like that detail. So this one came up quite cropped on me actually. I really like that it's got the hem that's kind of shorter at the front and then a little bit dipped at the back. I think that's really nice and really flattering. My version came up to sort of mid hip length on me, which is actually fine. Although if I do bend around or bend down or anything, it does ride up a little bit at the back. But I think if you're wearing quite high-waisted jeans, it does look quite nice. It's a nice length. In terms of sewing this one up, this was super quick, super speedy. For me, it took a little bit longer. Obviously, with the fabric that I'm using here, I had to stripe match, which wasn't too easy actually on this facing bit up here. I did have to fiddle around a little bit to get my stripes to match up as best as they could. But I think I've done a reasonable job of my sides and my sleeves here. It's just always a bit more of a fiddle and a faff when you're having to match stripes as you go, isn't it? So I'm pleased with what I've done. They're not perfect, but they're good enough for me. So I absolutely love this version of the toaster sweater as well. I really like this neckline. This is a much sort of, if I'm going to have anything tight to my neck, this is a much better neckline for me. If it came up any higher, I think it would annoy me. But as it is, it's actually a really nice, really comfortable neckline, and I really like it. The only thing I find with it is that I am leaning forward a little bit here, but I do find that I have to keep sort of straightening out a little bit because it does rock up a bit. But I did notice on the pattern image that the lady that's wearing her version, the neck is a little bit sort of ruffled up anyway, so I don't think it's always supposed to be super flat. But yeah, absolutely love this. It was a really quick, speedy sew. I think I sewed this in about an hour and a half, maybe even less than that. Probably a bit longer, as I say, because of the stripe matching and trying to get all of that right. I'll just show you actually how the corners finished on these, because it's got a really lovely neat finish to the corners here. So in the pattern it actually tells you how to mitre the corners so that you get a really lovely neat finish inside, and I really like that about the pattern as well. So yeah, big thumbs up for both versions of the toaster sweater from me. I think now that I've made them, and now I've made them in a way that I'm pleased with them, it's definitely going to be a bit of a staple for me, and I can see that I'm going to be making lots more versions of this in the future, and I do really like this one. I think this is going to be a great one for spring, especially in this French terry, because it's really nice and not too heavy and not too warm. So I've got a really nice cozy one, and then I've got a more lightweight one for springtime, so that's really great. So next, and this one is actually quite hot off of the sewing machine because I only finished this a couple of days ago, but I was really excited to get on with this, and I had a free day, or a sewing day I like to call it, on Tuesday this week. So I made sure at the weekend that I had this all cut out and ready to go so that I could sew on Tuesday when I had quite a quiet day. So this is my Patina Blouse by Friday Pattern Company. It's made from a lovely Atelier Brunette viscose twill, which I got from Minerva, and I've had this fabric for quite a long while now, and I've been saving it for the perfect project. I've had a couple of projects in mind for it that have never sort of worked out, and then I just thought it would suit a short sleeve patina blouse perfectly. So I had such a lovely day on Tuesday sewing this up. It's probably one of my favourite patterns to sew. So here's the patina blouse. If you do watch my videos regularly, you'll have heard me waffle on about this pattern before, so I apologise about that. But it's just such a lovely one. So I'll show you the line drawings. So this one here is the version that I've made. I've made the version with the short sleeves. There's not actually too much different to the pattern in the short sleeve version, other than obviously that you change the sleeve. So you can make it with a long sleeve with a lovely gathered cuff at the bottom. It's like a sort of a balloon sleeve cuff almost. It's quite gathered into the wrist. But yeah, the version I've made this time is just this one with a short sleeve here. So it has a lovely deep V neckline, which can be made in 2 different lengths. I've gone for the higher neckline for my one because I don't like anything too low. And then it has a lovely flat pointed collar, quite a vintage style collar. The back of the blouse is on a yoke, which I think you can see here, yeah. Which is lined using the burrito method, which just keeps everything really nicely enclosed so you don't get any raw edges or anything. And then the back of the neckline and the button band is all finished with a really nice facing. So I really like how everything is really neatly enclosed in this pattern. And actually, as I was making it, I was thinking, I've only actually used my overlocker for 2 stages of this. So when I was setting in the sleeve, you have to, well, you don't have to, but you can finish the edges by using your overlocker. So the sleeve heads I finished using my overlocker. And then the side seam and the underarm of the sleeve is all overlocked as well. But that is literally all you overlock in this pattern. Everything else is really neatly enclosed using facings and linings and sort of double hems and things. So it really is a nice neat one to sew. I was going to wear this in the video today, but then I decided not to because it's actually harder to show the details when you're wearing the garment. So I thought I'd leave it off and just show you the insides this time. So hopefully you can see here, I know this is quite a light fabric and possibly a little bit busy on the camera, but it's all lined inside. So the back of the blouse has this lovely gathered yoke here, so the back is sort of just gently gathered into the yoke here, and then the yoke is lined inside using the burrito method, so you get this really nice finish inside where you can't see any overlocking or anything. And then you've got this lovely facing that just comes here. It's almost like bias binding actually, it's quite a thin facing. And then if I just undo the buttons, you can see hopefully there the facing just extends right down into the button band. So yeah, lovely, lovely, neat make. This is my kind of make. I really love a viscose make, as you know. Viscose is my favourite fabric to sew with. I just love it, and it was really nice to just spend a really nice sort of relaxing day sewing this up. Just trying to fiddle around there, trying to button my buttons back up again with one hand, so I've just stopped talking for a minute and buttoned it back up again, and that looks better. So yeah, what else to say about this? It actually was much quicker doing the short sleeves, because when you do the long sleeves, the cuffs are quite detailed, so there is like a slit in the cuff to make a proper button band and everything, and all of that takes quite a lot of time. So with the shorter sleeve version, you literally just hem it as it is, and it's got this really nice sort of bit of gathering to the top as well, so there's a slight bit of puffiness to the top there as well. And yeah, just absolutely love it. This fabric is just like a dream to sew with. It does fray a little bit because it's a twill. I think twills always fray that little bit more. So yeah, you do just have to be a little bit careful with the fraying, but I didn't find it too bad at all. And obviously you just overlock all the fraying. I did have a little bit of trimming to do, and I can see a couple of loose ends here that I need to trim off as well. But yeah, it's just a lovely soft drapey dreamy fabric, and I love it so much. You just can't beat Atelier Brunette viscoses, I don't think. They're my absolute favourite. So yes, love that one. I'll pop in a couple of images as well so that you can see it on, but I'm just so pleased with it. I love this so much, and I've had it hanging in the front room actually so that I can just sit while I'm watching TV or whatever in the evenings and just admire it, because I just love the fabric so much, and I really like it when you get a make like that you just so pleased with and proud of, and you love the fabric in. It's just really nice, and what sewing is all about for me. So I can't wait to wear this in the springtime. I think it will go really nicely with just a pair of jeans or shorts or whatever. So that's my third make. So one more dressmaking make, which I just completely forgot about. I forgot that I'd made it this month, and I only made it last week, and you may have seen a sneak peek of this already actually if you watched my video last week, because I was sewing this up in my day in the life video. So this is something that I've wanted to sew for a long time now. It's the Mandy Boat Tee by Tessuti Patterns. So I'll pop in an image of this pattern now, because I've just printed it out as a PDF and I didn't print any of the pictures or anything. It's a free pattern by Tessuti Patterns, and to get the pattern all you need to do is just add your email address and be added onto their mailing list, and then they send you this pattern free of charge. And it's a really simple pattern, nice and easy to put together in PDF format. It came together really nicely in terms of laying out the pattern and cutting it out and everything. So it's a kind of boat neck or slash neck style t-shirt with drop sleeves, and you can make it as a 3/4 length sleeve or a long sleeve t-shirt. So yeah, one I've wanted to try for quite a while now, so I just thought I would get on and try it last week. I just wanted a really sort of quick, simple, satisfying sew to get me back into everything after our Easter holidays. And yeah, it was a really nice make. So here's my version. Hold it up here, clashing nicely with the stripes that I've got on. It looks absolutely huge when I'm holding it like this. It is quite oversized in the body, and the sleeves compared to the body are actually quite narrow. Lots of people have told me that they have found the sleeves too narrow. For me, I found them okay actually, and I think they're quite nice because they kind of they make the oversizedness of the body a bit better, if that makes sense. So the sleeves kind of keep everything in, and then the body looks quite drapey. So yeah, this is my version. I used a nice drapey viscose jersey, which I had from Sew Over It, but it was from ages ago, and someone actually gave this to me. So in terms of sewing this up, it was such a quick, speedy make. So the neckline is actually just turned under at the top, and then you twin needle it over. And then your drop sleeves are obviously just sewn straight. You sew straight up the sleeve and down the side, and then you turn under the hems at the sleeves and the bottom. So yeah, a really quick one that I sewed up in under an hour. But in terms of what I think about this pattern, I do really like the pattern and I really like the style of it, but in terms of this particular make, I'm not that happy with it. And that is all my own fault really. I don't feel like I've done a very good sewing job on this one at all. So this jersey, although it was really nice and really drapey, it was quite a pain to hem, and it was really hard to get it to turn under the neckline to twin needle, so I didn't overlock or stay the neckline or anything like that, and I probably should have, because I think it's stretched out quite a bit, and also where I've twin needled it, it's kind of, I don't know if you'll be able to see this on the camera, but it's sort of puckered over, so it's just not very neat at all, and then the raw edge of the hem just wants to roll out all the time. So I'm just not really happy with the job I've done on this t-shirt, although I like the style of it and I do like how it looks when it's on, and you can't actually really notice any of my terrible sewing when it's actually on. But you know, when when you know you haven't done a very good job on something, I think it will always put me off a bit of wearing this particular t-shirt. So I am going to keep it, and I'll probably wear it around the house, and I want to have another go at this pattern because, as I say, I do like the style of it and I like how nice and easy it was to put together and everything, and it's another one that loads of people love, and I want to love as well because, as I say, I like the style, I like the neckline, and I like the drop sleeves and everything, so I want to try and make it work. So I'm going to have another go in possibly a better fabric, a more suitable fabric for this style. Yeah, and see how that goes. So I'm going to show you my awful insides of this now, and I don't even know if you'll be able to see this on the camera, but basically inside I have cut this off. I needed to shorten it a little bit because it was really quite long, so I shortened it, but I've just cut it so unevenly underneath. So on the insides, can you see, it's all really raw inside, and then I've turned it up and twin needled it. But yeah, the same thing's happening really, it just wants to curl over. So I don't know if I maybe should have overlocked it first, I might have helped it, but I was a bit worried that overlocking it was actually going to stretch out the drapey nature of the viscose, and I didn't want it to do that, so I ended up just turning over the hem and twin needling it, but it doesn't look good at all really. So yeah, that's my Mandy Boat Tee. So pleased with the pattern, but not so pleased with the work I've done on this one, which is a bit of a shame, but definitely going to try it again. If you've made the Mandy Boat Tee, let me know what fabric you've used it to make it in down below. I think maybe something like a bamboo jersey or a tencel jersey or something would work nicely, and it might be a bit more sort of a better quality to use for this kind of make. So yeah, let me know what fabric you've used. So a bit of news, which I can't remember if I've actually shared or not on YouTube. I know I have on Instagram. But I'm actually working with Sew It Yourself, who are an American company. They have a lovely website, which I'll link below, and they're developing into including more tutorials and blogs and things on their website. And I'm going to be one of their writers for their blog and writing tutorials and things like that. So this month I wrote my first tutorial for them, which was how to make a patchwork quilt. Sew It Yourself actually choose the fabrics that they're going to send me, and then I write up a tutorial for them. I choose what I'm going to make, and then I make it and photograph it and write step-by-step tutorials for them. So I'll link their website and I'll link this blog down below, just in case you're interested and you want to pop over and read it. This month I made a lovely patchwork quilt, and here it is. It's all rolled up. I love to see quilts all rolled up like this. I just think they look lovely. So this was made using some fabric by Henry Glass Fabrics, and the fabric collection is actually called Time Well Spent, and it's all themed around spending time in your garden. So the prints in this fabric, which are going to be quite hard to show you because they are quite detailed, but they're all sort of floral prints. There's some bees and insects on these prints as well. They're just really, really lovely and sort of gardeny, jewelly tones, which I think really blend together quite nicely. So I'll unroll my quilt now so that you can see it all out. It's really quite big. So here it is. I'm not going to be able to show you the whole of this on the camera. I'll stand up again, see if I can show you. No, you can't even see the end of that. It's really big and really cozy, but I wanted this to be a kind of garden blanket or a picnic blanket, something that you can use in the summertime and just take outside into the garden, or take on a picnic with you, or something like that, or something that you can use for your kids to play on. It's made from quilting cotton, so it is washable. It's all completely washable, so you don't have to worry too much about it getting too dirty. It can just be thrown in the wash, and I find with patchwork quilts that the more you wash them, the better they look. Really, they just get that really wrinkled, lovely vintagey sort of texture to them. So yeah, don't be afraid of washing your quilts. So for this one, I can't remember the exact size of this right now, but it will be all linked in the blog. But basically I've pieced it together using 12 by 12 centimetre squares, and then I've used a lovely cozy bamboo and cotton wadding inside, and then the back, because I was using fat quarters, the fat quarters that they've sent me, or these might even be bigger than fat quarters actually, because they are quite huge. I've actually pieced together 4 fat quarters, or 4 larger than fat quarters, and I've made the backing out of those fat quarters so that that looks like patchwork as well. I'm really sorry if you can't see all the details, but if you want to see more details, then I will link the blog below. There are loads of pictures in there because I was writing it as a tutorial, so I took tons and tons of photos. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how this turned out. The colours in it are really lovely actually. They're really sort of earthy, and if I show you as close to the camera as I can, maybe you'll be able to see that in some of these fabrics there are sort of little bees and little butterflies and things in it, and I just think it's so lovely and perfect for garden use. So that was my first project for Sew It Yourself. I'm really excited to be working with them. So at the moment I'm going to be writing for them every few months, so probably around quarterly. So as I say, my first project went out in April, this month in April, the end of April, and then my next one's going to be in June, and that will be for some clothing. So yeah, I'd love you to pop over and have a read of that blog if you'd like to. I know when I shared a previous quilt that I made for my son, lots of people asked me if I would do like a tutorial or a video or something on quilting, which I haven't yet done. So if you are interested in how I make my patchwork quilts, then obviously pop over and read that blog. But yeah, I hope you like this one. Something a little bit different to make this month, which was really nice. I always love going back to patchwork and making quilts and things like that. They're just so therapeutic and really nice to make. So yeah, it was lovely to make that for them. And lastly, I have something different and quite exciting for me to share with you. I actually crocheted something. So never did I ever really think that I would be sharing a crochet make with you, because I've tried and tried again to get my head around crochet. And I don't want to sort of say that I can't crochet at all, because I can crochet in lines. I can make a blanket, say, with treble crochets or whatever you call them these days. But basically I can just go backwards and forwards doing crochet, and I've always admired other crochet makes, and in particular crochet toys, and tried before and just never got my head around it. But for Christmas my mum got me a Toft kit, and I don't know if you've seen the Toft crochet kits. At the Knitting and Stitching show a couple of years ago, they had a huge stall filled with all these crochet Toft animals, and they're just amazing. There are so many different animals that the lady that has designed these patterns has made, and they're just so lovely. And I always thought that I'd like to have a go and try and crochet one, but yeah, I've just not really managed to get my head around it before. So my mum brought me this kit for Christmas, and it was called the Eleanor the Labrador mini kit. So hopefully you can see the picture there. So it comes in a little kit, and you get this pattern card in the kit, and then you get the yarn that you need and the crochet needle, you get the stuffing, and you even get the sort of little amount of black yarn that you need to do the nose and the eyes and everything. So you get everything that you need. I think you even get a sewing up needle as well. So she brought me that, and then she said, look, you're going to have to get on with it and try it now. So earlier this month I had a go at it, and I actually followed some YouTube videos that Toft have got on their YouTube channel. And I don't know what happened, but something just suddenly clicked about crochet, and I managed to get this little Eleanor the Labrador sewn up, or crocheted up I should say, and finally finished, and I'm so pleased with her. Yeah, it's really funny. So I have tried before, as I say, to do this kind of crochet. It's just double crochet, but I think this type of crocheting toys is called arigurumi or something. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but you'll know what I mean if you are a crocheter. And it's just sort of the process of crocheting toys in the round kind of thing. And there are hundreds and hundreds of toy patterns crocheted using this method. And once I got the hang of it, I just sort of really got into it. I really enjoyed it, and I suddenly sort of knew what I was doing, and the YouTube videos were really, really helpful. I'm so pleased that I did look at those, and they really helped me to sort of get to grips with how to crochet in the round and using markers so you know where you are and everything. And yeah, this was really fun to make, so I'm so pleased that I managed to get one done, and I'm really looking forward to trying another Toft pattern now, or maybe another. There are loads of free patterns actually for crocheting this kind of toy on Lovecrafts, so I might try a free pattern next. So that's the last of my April makes, this little crochet make. I hope you like it. So I think that's it. That's everything I made in April. I hope you like what I've made. Any questions about anything that I've made, let me know in the comments below. Everything that I've talked about, patterns and fabrics and things, I'll link in the description as always. Let me know in the comments what you've been making in April. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and if you have enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you gave it a like. I'll be back next week with another video, so have a lovely day everyone, and I'll look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye!